This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening. I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you for joining us tonight. The clock is ticking for Congress to come to an agreement on the funding in the fight against Zika. Governor Rick Scott in Washington today, again pushing for a deal to be struck. The director of the CDC says the U.S. is about to see more babies born with microcephaly, a condition linked to the virus. Florida has been considered the epicenter of Zika in the U.S., with nearly 800 infected residents, including a few dozen pregnant women.
We need the federal government to show up and do a vaccine, come up with a vaccine. We need more research dollars. We need more support of each of our states. This isn't just a Florida issue. We're at the tip of the spear. Yeah. We have over 60 people now with local or non-travel related Zika. This is going to be a national issue.
Scott has also criticized Florida Senator Bill Nelson for being among the Democrats to vote against a $1.1 billion bill. Senate Democrats are pointing the finger at Republicans, though, questioning why partisan provisions like blocking funding for Planned Parenthood are included in this legislation. Further highlighting the urgency of the situation, the CDC will be providing the state with 7 staffers to help with testing. Governor Scott is requesting more personnel in an effort to ensure pregnant women can get their test results back as quickly as possible. And the controversy continues in Miami Beach, not over the Zika virus, but how health officials are fighting it. Today's commission meeting overflowed with protesters. They are concerned about the use of a chemical called naled. It's being used to kill off mosquitoes carrying the virus. They say the aerial spraying of it is more dangerous than Zika itself. The CDC says naled is safe, though it has been banned in Europe since 2012. A $500,000 flower pot project is now in full bloom in downtown Sarasota. And while most people love the idea of all these flowers, others apparently have some concerns. ABC7's Ray Collins joins us with both sides of this story. Ray.
Haley, the flowers look great, no question. But some concerns are now being raised.
Did you know this was a sweet potato vine?
This is Lois Weaverlane's second time ever to downtown Sarasota. She just moved here from Pennsylvania, and it didn't take her long to notice all the flower pots.
And I love to see the flowers everywhere. They're just beautiful, and they add so much to the downtown for here.
The flowers are all over the downtown area, 138 baskets blossoming on and around Main Street. Some wonder how much all these plants cost. Published reports say they cost $187,000 to install and $400,000 to maintain for 3 years. The money is from the Downtown Improvement District, a fund maintained by commercial property owners in the downtown core. But that isn't the only question.
In Florida, we have mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are drawn to man-made containers.
Kim Giaccardo is president of a nonprofit garden association here in Sarasota. She wonders about the timing of 138 flower baskets in light of concerns about the Zika virus in Florida and whether they'll draw more mosquitoes.
So they may be here already. And I have contacted my city commissioners, and Commissioner Shelley Eddy is at this point looking into the care of those baskets.
We contacted Commissioner Freeland Eddy, who told us to contact the health department. The health department forwarded our message to the Sarasota County Mosquito Control, who told us this is the first concern they've heard about the downtown flower baskets. Either way, Lois says they add a lot to downtown.
Beautiful. Yeah, they look wonderful. I love them.
So we called the company in charge of taking care of the flower baskets. It's called Plant Parents out Fruitville Road. But we got voicemail tonight. This project was 3 years in the making, Haley.
All right. Thank you, Ray. FEMA is working with 42 counties across Florida to assess the damage that Hurricane Hermine left behind. That includes Manatee County. Officials have been touring dozens of neighborhoods to determine if the damage is to the point of reaching a presidential declaration. That would mean federal relief will trickle down to affected communities. To receive that declaration, the state has to show it sustained a minimum of $25 million worth of damage. Manatee County itself has shown a little less than $1.3 million. million worth of damage. And now we're going to head over to Bob and get a check on our forecast. Tropics are pretty active.
Yeah, they are, Haley. In fact, 4 separate areas we are watching right now. One in particular closest to home is Julia, which is now moving a little bit away from the Carolina coast, giving them a little bit of a break. They've had some heavy rainfall, at least the coastal locations in South Carolina. And you can see a little trough of low pressure extends all the way down across central Florida tonight, as this storm will meander right off the coast of the South Carolina area, looks like, over the upcoming weekend. Now, as far as the winds go, they're not all that strong, and most of them are well east of the center, so no warnings or watches are up along the Carolina coast at this time. There is a chance this could develop a little stronger in time, as it will be over some very warm water. In fact, it gets up to 45 miles an hour. And then by the weekend, it looks like it will become a tropical depression. So that would be a good sign. You'll notice, too, that the cone or the circle of inclusion here, if you will, is not all that large now. So it looks like it's just going to stay there, and eventually it may just die there, too, as far as that storm system goes. We also have an area out there in the Gulf of Mexico we are watching, but that appears to be heading toward Texas, and the chances of that developing are very small at this time. As far as the rain goes, we've had a few showers around today. Most of the rain off into the Gulf of Mexico. We may see a little bit of this activity start to develop right before sunrise and then move on shore. They will be scattered brief showers around tomorrow morning. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. We continue following the investigation of that fatal shooting at a home in South Sarasota yesterday. According to a sheriff's office report, it was that same home on Rita Street where deputies responded to an attempted break-in just 2 weeks ago. A young woman said she heard someone trying to get in, but deputies couldn't find any signs of activity. Then yesterday morning, the body of 31-year-old James Sasser was found in the doorway of the home. Friends say Sasser had been living next door for only a few days. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office reiterated today there is no threat to the public. They say everyone involved in this incident is accounted for, though they've released very few details about the circumstances surrounding the shooting. They are not calling it a murder or homicide investigation. An arrest has been made in the mosque arson on the east coast of Florida. 32-year-old Joseph Schreiber will be charged with arson. Officials say they found the suspect using caller tips and surveillance video of the fire that broke out at the Islamic Center of Fort Pierce on Sunday. A hate crime enhancement will be added to Schreiber's arson charge.
An examination of Schreiber's social media account also shows multiple anti-Islamic posts and comments.
The mosque, which sustained heavy damage, was occasionally attended by the Pulse nightclub shooter. No one was in the building when the fire started. A corrections deputy in Manatee County is off the job tonight. The sheriff's office says 45-year-old Raymond Moore is charged with delivery of a controlled substance. The department had received information that he supplied someone with his prescribed Klonopin pills. Arrangements were made for another exchange to happen tonight. That's when Moore allegedly gave this person several clonazepam pills. No money was exchanged. The sheriff's office has fired Moore with 12 years of experience with the department. They say there's no evidence that he supplied anyone with pills while working at the county jail. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast and an update on all that activity out in the tropics. Plus, health continues to be the focus on the campaign trail, with both candidates sharing more information. Plus, the Suncoast loses a music icon who we have just learned passed away.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Thank you, my fellow Americans. As your candidate for president, I will make bling affordable with Spectralite diamonds.
Spectralite diamonds are manufactured in laboratory conditions to equal the finest natural diamonds.
This political message was brought to you by Created Gems and the Bling Party.
Big bling for little change for you.
Well, it's been an... Sorry, our producer's telling us about his pizza preferences.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to have a piece right
I
now.
would like to bring it out, we're hungry, you know. But yeah, active day in the tropics.
Yeah, it is. You know, as we talked about, it's near the peak of the hurricane season. You would expect a lot of activity. The good news is, though, it doesn't appear that we're going to have any impacts by any of the systems. So, yeah, it is good news. We'll talk about that in a bit. Casey Key webcam showing some clouds and showers off in the Gulf of Mexico as the sun was setting. Most of the action staying offshore, too. It looks as though we won't see much of a chance of rainfall, at least over the next 6 hours. But then right around sunrise, we should have some shower development in the Gulf, and those will have a tendency to move onshore. But all in all, not a lot of activity in the morning hours. Most of it will be in the afternoon. And Darcy sending this a nice rainbow in that you see right there. A nice shot. Looking out over Sarasota Bay. A beautiful shot there. Appreciate that. And this one comes from Joanne, and this is over the Manatee River. And Joanne getting a beautiful shot of the sun shining on some of these clouds, these cumulus clouds, and a few cumulonimbus clouds out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, big storms still around the east of the center of our tropical storm. Still a tropical storm, still holding on. And in fact, as I told you earlier, it could actually strengthen a little bit over the next 24 hours, and then shear is going to rip it apart, I think, by the latter half of the weekend. There's a little line of low pressure out in the Gulf of Mexico extending right through central Florida, and this is bringing instability in the atmosphere across much of the eastern Gulf. Now, the atmosphere has really got a lot of moisture in it in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, and so the storms that do develop will produce some pretty heavy rainfall for a short period of time, though, because they are going to be moving fairly quickly off to the northeast. The rainfall amounts today, not all that impressive at all. Northport had some showers around. We had a little bit of activity right near the coast, near Siesta Key, and the rainfall estimates are not all that, as I said, high at this point. Currently, we have 83 degrees. The dew point is at 76. It's warm. It's muggy, yes, and winds are out of the west, southwest at 7. The pressure, thankfully, is on the rise at 30.06 inches. And 90 was the high, 89 the average, and 95 the record set back in 1995. This morning's low was above it at 78 degrees. 1/1800ths of an inch of rainfall. That's it at the Sarasota Brayton Airport today. And it looks as though temperatures are still very warm here and in the Keys, 84 Key West, 82 now in Miami, and 78 degrees now into Orlando. Temperatures around the area near the coast in the low 80s here, from Bradenton at 82, 81 in Northport, Punta Gorda at 81 degrees. A little bit cooler inland, upper 70s there. Lows tonight will be into the mid 70s inland, upper 70s right near the water. 76 degrees in Venice. The expected low temperature. Lakewood Ranch will drop down to around 78 degrees. In Parrish at 74. Longboat Key should be at 78 to start things off tomorrow. As I mentioned, there could be a few morning showers. Now, we talked about all the activity out there. Tropical Depression 12 is soon to be Tropical Storm Carl, we believe. Ian is out there in the open waters of the Atlantic moving northward, and we have Julia. Top winds are at 40, and a disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico has a very little chance developing as it makes its way west, away from the west coast of Florida. Now, as far as the forecast path and track goes, it heads off to the east for a little while, then moves back toward the west, and eventually gets knocked down to a tropical depression by Saturday. At least that's the thinking at this point from the National Hurricane Center. And as far as the system out here is concerned, I checked the long-range models on what could be Carl, and it looks like it will eventually move off to the west and then get caught into a weak area of two high pressures and head off, similar to what we're seeing now with Ian. So that would be a good sign. Looks like the forecast calls for it a westerly track at around 10 miles to 15 miles an hour, and eventually making a bend in about 5 days from now. So that's what we'll look at, though. We'll watch it closely. Things can change very quickly. Southwest winds at 5 knots. Not much of a wind out there. Light chop for the bays and inland waters. Seas running 2 feet or less. Water temperature still very warm, 87 degrees. And as far as the tides go, the upcoming tides, high tide will be at 12:30, and the low tide will be at 6:23 tomorrow morning. Tonight, a few showers possibly rolling in from the Gulf. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Low temperatures mid-70s. Tomorrow, a few downpours quickly moving through. A 40% chance for scattered storms, and the extended forecast calls for a chance for scattered storms right through the weekend at 50%. High temperatures still warm, still summer-like, right around 90 degrees. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump sharing more information about their health today, but in very different ways. ABC's Kenneth Moten explains.
A rare moment for Donald Trump. The outspoken GOP nominee was speaking at a black church in Flint, Michigan, when the pastor stopped him cold in his tracks during a political attack.
Now Hillary Clinton.
Mr. Trump, I invite you here to thank us for...
Okay, that's good.
Trump quickly wrapped up and left, taking off for a rally in Ohio.
I don't know, folks. You think Hillary would be able to stand up here for an hour and do this?
A busy day for Trump, who discussed his health on a daytime talk show. Audience members of the Dr. Oz show watched as a 70-year-old billionaire handed over his medical records and recent results of a physical to the TV doctor. Dr. Oz spoke with NBC.
I was surprised. I looked at them and tried to process it pretty quickly. And I've got to say, as a doctor, if he was my patient, they're good for a man of his age.
Hillary Clinton also released health information, but more detailed than Trump's. Records show she's on antibiotics recovering from pneumonia, and Clinton's doctor says her physical exam was normal. Clinton will be back on the trail Thursday and back attacking Trump, who is now battling with New York's Attorney General. The Clinton supporter launched an inquiry into Trump's nonprofit foundation after the Washington Post reported Trump hadn't donated since 2008, and $20,000 in charitable funds was spent to buy a 6-foot-tall painting of Trump. Trump's campaign calls it all a left-wing hit job. There's also a Newsweek magazine report out questioning Trump's business ties with foreign groups. But his daughter Ivanka said if he becomes president, his company will be put into a blind trust and turned over to his children to run. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
A new CNN ORC poll, meanwhile, shows a close race in the key swing states of Florida and Ohio. Here in Florida, Trump has a 3% advantage over Clinton among likely voters, which is within the margin of error. In Ohio, the Republican nominee's lead stands at 5%, 46-41. On the Suncoast, dozens of Trump supporters rallied tonight in downtown Sarasota. His Florida headquarters reopened on State Street. Campaign co-chair Joe Gruder said the office went dark during the primary elections, and now they are ready to pick up speed and do all they can to help their candidate win Florida.
You look at the excitement. This place, you could barely move tonight. I mean, people are ready to make calls. People are ready to do door to door. We have a ton of offices opening up all across the state. Exciting things are happening, and I expect a lot more excitement to continue to build here on the Suncoast.
The Republican nominee is scheduled to campaign in Miami-Dade County on Friday and then Lee County on Monday. We are sad to share with you tonight the reported passing of Paul Wolf. According to the Sarasota Herald Tribune, the 90-year-old died on Tuesday. Wolf is a music icon here on the Suncoast. He was the conductor of the Sarasota Orchestra and helped start the Sarasota Music Festival decades ago. Wolf was featured in a story by our Linda Carson when the festival celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2014. He will be missed. Just 2 days after the NCAA pulled 7 of its championship events out of North Carolina, the Atlantic Coast Conference is following suit. The ACC is removing all of its athletic championships from the state. This is all over a controversial law that bans transgender people from using the restroom of the gender they identify with. Governor Pat McCrory issued a statement urging public and private institutions to let the issues take their course in court. Earlier this year, the NBA announced it was relocating its 2017 All-Star Game because of the same law. The Rays break a franchise record today, while Jameis Winston already has an award this season. That's next in sports, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
We have a great show tonight. Watch this. What's it like for you on a plane now? Are people already
they worship
absorbing
me, yes.
the sulliness?
They're all like this. You'll be all right.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Come uncork your inner artist at Painting with a Twist. Bring your favorite bottle of wine and appetizers and enjoy an evening out with friends to celebrate any special occasion. It's perfect for a girls' night out, birthday parties, or a fun date night. Painting with a Twist offers 2 or 3 hour classes that are instructed by local artists, and there is no experience required. We now have 2 convenient locations in Sarasota and Bradenton. Visit our website to view our calendar and schedule your next party today.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Now, sports.
The Rays wrapping up a 3-game set in Toronto today, looking to pick up a series win before heading to Baltimore. The Blue Jays struck first, but the Rays offense got going in the 4th inning. Kevin Kiermaier sends a 2-run shot to right. That is his 12th of the season. And then later in the inning, Corey Dickerson singles right back up the middle. Brad Miller comes home to score, and the Rays take a 3-1 lead. Then in the 6th came a record-setting home run. Dickerson's 2-run blast gives the Rays 200 homers on the year, the most in team history for a single season. Meanwhile, Alex Cobb continues to impress after returning from Tommy John surgery. He allowed just 1 run on 2 hits in 6 2/3 innings. The Rays win 8-1. The NFL took notice of Jameis Winston's excellent start to the season. The Bucs quarterback has been named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. In Tampa Bay's win over the Falcons, Winston threw for 281 yards, 4 touchdowns, bouncing back after an interception early in the game. And those 4 touchdowns all went to different receivers.
It's an honor, but I couldn't do it without those other 53 guys out there. Defense played an amazing game. No sacks. When the quarterback's not even getting touched back there, you got to have fun back there in the pocket, and everybody just making plays, so it's definitely a team thing.
The Bucs have a tough challenge ahead of them this coming Sunday. They will travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, who are going to be very hungry for a win after losing a close game to the Patriots in their home opener. Commissioner Roger Goodell says the NFL will spend an additional $100 million on developing new technology and supporting more medical research into head injuries. Goodell writing an open letter, quote, "We can and will do better." The league and its partners are already spending $100 million on technology and research. The NFL has faced heavy scrutiny in recent years over its handling of head trauma, as concussions and CTE have become an increasing concern. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
I'm a lawyer spokesperson. This is an important message for anyone who took the prescription drug Xarelto or Pradaxa and had a serious bleeding event. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered from a serious bleeding event,
call 800-220-8268 immediately.
Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious internal bleeding, stroke, and death.
Call 800-220-8268 immediately.
You may be entitled to compensation. Call now for a free consultation.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done